Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets Today. I'm Sakshi Batra, and this is where we discuss everything about the stock markets, closing action, also help you understand the way the trade panned out today, also where were the gains and losses seen, and what really was buzzing on the D Street today. All of that coming up over the next 4 to 5 odd minutes. So do stay tuned on to with me. First up, let's look at the closing levels. Well, third straight session when the markets have actually slipped into the red. The Sensex, in fact, slipped 550 odd points. The Nifty also slipped below that 16,450 odd mark. It was a whole lot of sectors like realty, IT, capital goods, consumer durables. All of them really dragged the sentiments on the street today. It was a broad based sell off right from the word go. We saw a gap down start, and after that, the markets kept on dragging below. In fact, if you see, the markets have been nervous right ahead of the RBI's monetary policy review meeting and the outcome tomorrow. There's a wide expectation that the RBI will continue to raise the repo rate this time around, but by how much, the quantum is the question, and the kind of commentary the RBI governor really makes on the kind of stance the RBI will be taking going forward on the liquidity measures, on the interest rate front, on inflation, and on growth. All of that will be very important to track today. Also very important today will be to also understand the way global markets really pan out in trade. Remember, all across the world, also many global markets have been talking about interest rates in their respective countries as well. All of that will be seeping into these sentiments too. Most of the experts believe, Vinod Rayad, for example, head of the research at Geojit Financial Services, did believe that the volatility in market is forcing investors to stay on the sidelines right ahead of the RBI policy announcement. The market, although the market, he believes, has factored in a 50 basis points kind of a repo rate hike, but any further stricter measures to clamp liquidity due to lingering inflation will have ramifications on the market end. Now, apart from that, monetary measures, the RBI's guidance on growth and inflation forecast will definitely determine the market trend even going forward from here. Now, when we talk about some of the other specific or highlights of the session today, on the advanced decline ratio, it definitely favored the bears at this point in time in today's trading session. 2,000 shares declined, whereas 1,292 shares advanced today. About 188 shares continue to hit upper circuit in an otherwise weaker market. 172 shares slipped to their lowest circuit as well. The number of stocks that hit a 52-week low also was 70 in number. Also, when you talk about the kind of fall that we've seen, in Nifty, over the last three trading sessions when the markets have been slipping, the Nifty has fallen almost 1%. It has closed below the 16,450 odd mark. The Nifty Bank has fallen three out of the last four sessions as well to close below 35,002. In the broader market space, both of them have seen about 2% decline in the last 3 days of fall. The energy sector, however, has advanced 1%, snapping the 2 days losing streak. ONGC has rallied more than 5%. Some of the other stocks like MRPL, Oil India, most of the other energy names have actually rallied in trade today on the back of higher oil and gas prices. The Nifty Realty, on the other hand, has slipped 3% in the last 3 days again. So that index has been definitely taking a beating in the last three trading sessions alone. When you talk about the Sensex, only five index stocks remained on the positive territory, including NTPC, Maruti, M&M, Bharti Airtel, and SBI, all rising anywhere between 0.5% or 0.2% in trade to 1.5%. Not very huge gains coming about there, but a whole lot of stocks like Titan was the one that really took a beating today, 4.5% down in trade. Dr. Reddy slipped 4% too. HUL was down 3%. L&T, Asian Paints, Bajaj Finance, TCS, all of them dragging the sentiments in today's trading session too. Overall speaking, the markets have been facing a whole host of volatile move right from the word go. When you talk about the last month and this month beginning too, most of the experts believe that once the RBI takes a clear direction, perhaps the markets will be able to move in tandem. Most of the experts have also been talking about how technical indicators somehow point out that the Nifty may have actually seen its lowest point of the recent times, and may actually, once the RBI goes on the expected lines, may actually move up too. Meanwhile, the shares of Life Insurance Corporation that hit an all-time low yesterday continued to hit an all-time low even today of 751 rupees per share. It settled 3.15% lower at 752. In contrast, if you see, you had NTPC, Maruti, M&M, Bharti Airtel really rising in trade today. So a host of focus is on the individual stocks as well as we speak. Going forward from here, all eyes on the RBI's monetary policy review meeting, and I'll keep you updated with everything that's really buzzing on D Street and how the markets really react to this change in regime, RBI's monetary policy decisions that come about at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So do stay tuned on onto that onto Business Today TV for all those updates, as well as they will be very important to track as to how your investments in the bank deposits, in FDs, and also your loans, how do they get impacted as well. All of that will be up for you. So don't forget to stay tuned on to Business Today TV. Thanks a lot for tuning in for now.